Sherry, I know we're going to talk a little bit, and we stole your thunder on the last question, I think, about what you were using for collaboration. So I'm going to change this a little bit. When you talk about the way that people are working from home, I know that it's heavy with BlueJeans and those tools. Tell us a little bit about how people at Chick-fil-A Corporate Legal work from home. Are they issued company laptops? Do they work from mobile devices? How do they connect in, and how's that working for them today versus what it would have been if COVID-19 didn't happen?
So for us, we were in I would say, a fortunate situation that we have been campus mobile for the last few years anyway. So all of our staff currently have company issued laptops. We have, this is getting a little bit into the security piece, but we have single sign-on, multi-factor authentication, all of that was already stood up. So we were ahead of the curve when it came to that. And because we were campus mobile, I would say half of our department, specifically the attorneys, did not have a workspace anyway, not a dedicated workspace. So they were already used to, even if they came in, having to find a touchdown spot. And they, because of that, a lot of people join meetings remotely anyway. So we were already using a lot of this technology. So it really helped us, not that we haven't had issues, with getting some of the technology to work remotely, but overall we were in a better place than we could have been because we had that already stood up.
That was one of the most interesting things when I came to visit you guys, that you had that mobile workspace built out where you had your huddle rooms and areas where people work. So it sounds like that culture, the sheer nature of how you were planning to work at the office, really prepared people when they had to be dispatched to home. It didn't really matter geographically where they were. They took their laptop with them, and their office was where that professional was at that given point in time.
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful. Do you guys see, Marianne and Lorraine, do you guys see any of that happening in your companies? Do you see a shift to a more mobile workforce? Or let me change this, maybe Marianne, directing this to you. Do you see the COVID-19 crisis transforming that in the future? Maybe you were office-based before, but do you see this maybe putting more people out in the field?
Well, I think, legal at Navistar has not embraced the mobile life quite as much as the rest of the company. We all have dedicated desks, but we do all have laptops. There was only one or two people in the department, that we have about 40, say, and that had never telecommuted all this time. I mean, that had to be trained, as far as attorneys go and paralegals. And our admins were very adaptable and they picked it up really quick. So, but I do think that going forward, we will work at home more. That I don't know how much more, but I think maybe we'd go into the office eventually when this is all down the road worked out, maybe 2 or 3 days a week, and then work at home the rest. There's a lot of reasons for that. It saves the company money, for one thing, on just utilities, and the need for the office space and large conference rooms. We don't need them anymore. We can do it, this way. People have learned we can have conferences this way, and it works. It saves money for the employees. They don't have to buy gas or, pants. No. But
dry cleaning, right? Dry cleaning gets cut down dramatically.
Yeah, dry cleaning, right? And it also is good for the planet. I think the planet's enjoying this breather. I hear lots of good things about pollution in some of the big cities being way down. So I do think there'll be changes. I don't know how it's going to all pan out yet.
Yeah, it is definitely changing our world. I think we were talking earlier as a group, even for education for the children, how will they go back to school and what will that look like? And sometimes things happen and there's a monumental event that changes the course of how we conduct business and do things in the future. So this definitely seems like one of them.